And hello and welcome to BigShadowsWorld. We are now live with PlanetBase. Just a PC game. It is single player, but I thought, well, I'm going to record it, so why not do it live? I'm going to go through a few episodes and see how we go. So, hope you enjoy. As I said, it is just a single player game, but it's not too bad. Okay, so let's get underway. Brand new game, brand new world, and this is BigShadowsWorld. See where we end up. Nice random planet. And we are set to go. And here we are. We're colonists. We're going to land on this planet, and we will make it our home. So first thing we're going to do, obviously, is they're going to open the door. They're going to wander out, and then we need to decide from there. A little bit of background music just to change it up a bit. This is from audionautics.com, and I thank them for the music. Have a little look around and we'll see where we can expand out and build. Got to make sure we can get out and get some extra stuff in. Okay, first up we need to establish some buildings. We need an airlock and we need an oxygen generator. We'll pop an airlock just down. Oh, yep, we can go this way. Pop an airlock just here for now, and an oxygen generator. Close as we can get, and we need to hook them up. I'll go there actually. Join them together, and that will start the oxygen flow. We also need to get some power, and I'm going to put in right down here solar power. To go with that, we also need power collection, somewhere to store it. Now we are limited on resources. Before I do that, I better connect it up, otherwise we'll end up too far away. So we need somewhere to store the power. In fact, I'm not too fussed where we store it. Want to collect as much as possible. And we're also desperately going to need water. Now there's limited places where we can actually put this stuff. Oh, did you hear that? Okay, so now we've got some water on the go, and after that we'll see what happens. We have solar, a power battery, and we also have a water extraction. Large water tanks just come into play. As soon as this power goes up, we do want to put in a turbine. Solar power, as you may have gathered, only works during the night. Next location we'll put in is we will put in a catering area. Actually biodome. We'll put it over here. We've got to be able to build. My God. Got to be able to supply ourselves with food. There's the power. That will actually be powering up this. Here's the water. That will also be powering the oxygen generator. This will now be getting oxygen. Next on the list will be this power storage. And straight up, and you notice I'm a little bit of a rush. Reason being, we need to have this done before it gets dark. We need to charge up as much power as we can, and without that power, we are in trouble. Now we can get extra resources from the ship when we break it down, so we always keep that in mind. We also may need supplies from elsewhere. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put down a landing pad. And put down a landing pad there, yeah. And connect it up. Okay, so that way towards the end there we can actually get additional colonists coming in, trading ships, etc. If I click on the ship, I can see what's left. 4 will go for that, 1 will go for that. This is, we're talking about the actual metal. So basically everything's made of metal and plastics. Okay, so we are getting power. This building up there, which means there will be oxygen in there. Next on my list will be inside. I'm not doing any more outside. Somewhere to eat, somewhere to sleep, and somewhere to process metal. Also we have a sick bay. So straight up, we've already decided to put in a biodome. After this, we will be putting in a processing plant. Very small one. Connect that. Small workshop. Actually, I might have to wait on that. I am going to recycle this ship, turn it all into spare parts. And that hasn't got oxygen because they haven't built the connection pipeline yet. So once that connection is built, everything goes along a lot smoother. Connects it up, oxygen can now flow through and into that biodome. To get into the biodome, we can now get in there and plant some crops. First up, we want wheat. Wheat's going to provide us with food and starch. We can't put too much in, but we have to do some. Processing plant will allow us to process the starch into plastics and also mine and process any metals or minerals into metal. As you can see, we're still running power. We are draining away. That's to be expected. It was solar power. It's night time, and up here you can see that it's actually night time. And that will drain all night until that wind turbine actually comes into place. You can see there's a fair bit of breeze around, but that hasn't been built yet. So they'll get to that shortly. So they can get inside. Next thing we want, processing plant. Let's go and find somewhere for them to eat and sleep. That can be the canteen. Now, before I do this, I don't mind them sleeping on the floor, but I do want access to minerals. I'm going to pop a mine in, connect it up, so that we can actually start collecting minerals. Oh, I must have messed up. I've lost my processing plant. Okay, so that will start I can process there, so I can process metals and plastic when that gets built. Just checking on the components. And down here we can see we have some metals. These 3 yellow dots are all plastics, and these red ones are food, bit of first aid equipment there as well, and we will build a first aid centre soon. Now it's all airlocked, so they go in one at a time. Pretty slow old process, but it does get there eventually. Needs resources, that needs resources. And we are getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we will no doubt run out of resources. Just heard we have a space ship landing. We have new colonists come to join the city, and they will actually start to help out around the place. We've got an engineer, a biologist, and a worker. The worker will work in the mines and operate some machinery. A biologist will work in the biodome and also processing. And, canteen. Oh, didn't need to do that, but never mind. I'll get rid of that. Zoom, boom. There's the help button. Whenever you need anything, you can go through into the help, and it's all there for you. Different keys show different things. The F1, F2, F3. Structure's low on oxygen. Reason for that, it shouldn't be. Plenty of power. Probably not large enough. I'll put a larger one in shortly. Oh, here we go. The air's going through now. Okay, so it's drawing the air out of there to fill the tunnels as we go. Right, canteen. We need to get in. We need a food processor. We need a table. And we need water. They must have water. Okay, so that will get built next. They'll wander around there, they'll bring in the equipment and build it there. This one, processing plant. Again, in order to process the metal, we need a refiner, and we need for plastics. The reason I'm putting them in now is if we don't get the processor for the metal in, the mines will dig out the minerals, but we won't be able to turn them into metal, so it will be a waste of time. They do use metal to be built, those two, so we've got to be very careful. 1, 2, 3, 4 left, and that's 2 there they'll use, and these are all plastic, so that's okay. You can see the windmill's turning. We have all our power stored and the solar generator's working. Oxygen's now at 22%, and in here the meal maker has been built. I can take the roofs off and look inside, and here we go. That will take the materials from here and put it in there, the food, and process it. Okay, so these two guys were thirsty. Though he was thirsty, we have one water fountain in there as well. They still have nowhere to sleep. So we'll work on that next. They can sleep on the floor as far as I'm concerned. They are colonists. You would expect them to rough it for a few days. And thanks for joining us out there. It's good to have you with us. Don't know whether you know this game at all. It's a bit unusual to be streamed. I think it's unusual, but why not? Now these guys are tired. They're looking for somewhere to sleep. We are self-sufficient, which is good, which means our food is producing. Every now and again you'll hear a boom, and that boom is meteors hitting the ground. If the meteor hits our buildings, they will cause damage. If it hits the people, it's going to kill them, and these things will happen. Okay, so we have a processing plant and a metal processing plant. The minerals will come out of this mine, and there's one miner. He's down there now, he's mining away, so he's a worker, and he'll bring it here and process it. This uses starch, which comes from the wheat, so we get 2 food and 1 starch out of those. Okay, so I'm happy I can move on. Plenty of gears. Got to be very careful what I use. And let's get them somewhere to sleep. That's going to use 2. That's going to use 1. And I think we have 1, 2. We only have 2 anyway. However, the worker is working away here, turning that minerals into metal straight up. So as you can see, you've got to be pretty careful of how you set this up and in what order. Without the power, you have no oxygen, everyone dies. Without the water, you have no oxygen, everyone dies. Without the power at night, well, the wind turbine, you'll burn up the power pretty quick and everybody dies. Without food, everybody dies. And as you can see, it's very easy for everybody to die. Oxygen generator, no oxygen generator, you know what happens there, of course. And without a landing pad, you are actually stuck. No one can visit, no one can come and help you. You're on your own, no supplies, no trade. You can't even swap any of this stuff for actual food. Rightio, so we are 1 short here. Oh, I don't want that. I messed up. That was supposed to be a dorm. Yep, that was close. I almost built 2 canteens. These guys are tired. As soon as that's done, we'll put them to bed. Now they don't process all this in one go. They do some of this, wander off, do something else, come back, go have a sleep, go have a feed, and from then on it's random where they go. This, the biologist, he will harvest the wheat, put it into the food maker, and that will then produce food and they'll come and eat it. We actually do need a few of these, but I'll just wait till the beds are in before we do, just to make sure we don't run out of the bioplastic. Hopefully I'm coming through nice and clear on the mic. Did have a little problem earlier, but I think I've fixed it now. This is not a drill. Okay, still waiting on this guy to do his work. As soon as that's done, then they'll have places to sleep and we can move on. At the moment, as you can see, on the floor is good enough, and then you can see their health, whether they're hungry, thirsty, running out of air, need to sleep, or have low morale. If they have low morale, they'll eventually just get lazy, lethargic, and stop working. We do need somewhere to store this. You leave it outside, it will start to decay. So we'll build a storage area next. I want the storage area over here so that we can actually link it straight to this pad. Ooh, a big boom. And as you can see, the wind is not constant, it's dropped right off. The turbine's not even turning, but it's daytime and we are recharging the power we used last night. We are using 31 of the 80 units being produced. Okay, I can join these up, I don't need to. I can join these up, I don't need to. I can attach that to the landing pad, I don't want to do that either. I have to be careful of what I join to something else, because you can get to a position where you can join this, if you join this and this, then you can't join that. Ooh, another big meteor strike, and there you go, look at that, that's just hit the ground. Keys are pretty simple, WASD and Q and E to rotate, or you can just move it, the center button on the mouse of course, scroll in, scroll out. You can always check on who's doing what. The biologists, they'll work here and they'll operate additional equipment I'll show you later. They can start to produce food, they can produce synthetic food, and we'll worry about that later. Now they're getting a bit sad, poor things, they want a bed, but if they get off their backside and build it, I'll be happy. Robots wandering around, one's a construction and the other is just a transport robot. We will build more of those later. We need to build the facilities for them and we need metals to do it. We need gears, which we can produce, and we need bioplastics, which we can produce also. As you can see, there is some starch here, and they've started to produce the bioplastics from that starch. Uses a worker, and if the workers are here, then they're not in the mines or doing other stuff. So your population's going to have to grow. Looks like I'm getting a very low stream. Okay, my stream is cutting out and starting again, so I'm just going to secure this up, do a couple of little things. Probably as soon as this dorm's built, I'm going to call it a episode and wait till the internet improves. Certainly an internet problem. It's inconsistent So it's certainly connectivity is going and causing a problem. Just want to get these guys happy. Another way to make them happy is you can always put in something they don't see in space, a plant. Pretty weird, but it works. And we can also make it so that they can watch TV. That makes them happy, but you need to make sure that you have the equipment. If you run out of bioplastics and metal, again, bit of trouble. I do expect a trade ship to come in shortly. And some of that jerky movement, of course, that you're seeing is actually me on the mouse. So there's the TV. We can actually watch a bit of TV if we like. And it tells you what's going on around the place. So he's going to watch that for a little bit, and he'll get happier just being able to get some news. That was the carrier robot. He'll drop stuff off. An engineer will build it, or someone else will build it. And here we have a spaceship arriving. Here we go. Trading ship. So we do get a trade done before we call it an episode. So, trade ship, and we can have a look at that. He sells medicines and medicinal plants, as well as he has money. We have plenty of medicine. We don't have any plants as yet, but we don't need them at the moment. We have food. I'm going to sell a couple of those. No, I'm not. Change my mind. He really has nothing that I want, so I'm going to see what he's worth anyway. Very expensive. Don't want anything from him. We'll dismiss him. And he'll take off. Radio. So this will go up now, and this will make him very happy. Let's put some beds in. Done. Now they'll come and grab the plastics, come in, make those beds, and they'll be a little bit happier. It does block the pathway. One of these rooms you can't extend off of, but that's okay. My next plan is to put in a security facility and a storage area. Come on, I want this stuff here. This stuff's in the way at the moment, that's causing me problems. Oh, almost. Can change the size. Come on, hook up. I'm waiting for it to click on. Okay, just try a different angle. Beautiful. So there's a control center. From that, I'm also going to put in storage. And then soon I will actually change the positioning of this to hook it up with this. so it will come this way. Actually, I don't want that. Change my mind. I need to save energy. Sorry, I need to save metal. Robot needs to be repaired. An engineer can do that if he's not too lazy. This guy's a little bit sad still. He's going for a drink of water. He's a little bit unhappy. We have no base for him yet, so he's a little bit sad. Okay. Just a little look around. This is the land that we'll have to work our way through. You can't go over mountains. You might be able to fit through there, that'll be okay. We can come around, get out to this side. That's a pretty good area. As I said, we can't go over mountains. I'll use this area up here. Oh, I'll be able to get through there too. We'll have to work on that. We'll see what happens. This will actually, the landing pad will get moved later. Resources. Yes, we do need resources. We are getting metal produced. We are getting plastics. You can see the bioplastics being produced there. This needs 2, this needs 2, this needs 1, and this needs 1. So total there is 6 metal required, and again we need to produce it. There's one being placed, so we need 5 more, and that's the good thing about being able to produce our own metal now. Without the mine, we would be totally stuck. Okay guys, now one of the things with this, you can accelerate the progress and you can make it go fast or slow. Four times and away it goes. Still producing food, as you can see. It's coming off the crops there and producing food. In here we're going to add another plant, and that's going to produce medicinal plants which we can then turn into medicines and be self-sufficient. So they're pretty quick doing the jobs. Still a few off getting things done, but they can now sleep. He's still sad, can't do anything about that. There's plenty of food, and we now have another colonist arrive. Off he goes, and a medic. Well, he'll be unhappy because we have nowhere for him to work as yet. We can set it up though. We need a lab. And let's go see what the trading ship has brought. Food. Food is pretty low. He didn't bring any food. A giant solar. Let's get the metal. He's pretty cheap. See what we can get for the metal. Okay. Does have guns. And we'll take some cash off him. And we'll trade. There we go. The guys will move this stuff to his ship. and collect what we've purchased from his ship, and then we can get these things built pretty quick. Still waiting on a set of gears and some medicines. This is what we're going to use to replenish our medicines shortly. The lab, and then from the lab we will actually add some more stuff. Another colonist just arrived. Security center has been built. Now, don't get carried away and go too far. We need to make sure that we are not overloading the system. This is our storage. All the spare stuff will come into here. This is a lab, and this will be our sick bay. Once that's built and connected, we can then add into it. Once that's connected, we can then add into it. Looks like the streaming's picked up, so hopefully it's still going okay. Let me know. You can let me know in the chat if it's a problem. Okay, they can't cut through. They do need to go around. Bit of a dust storm coming through. I can issue a warning. I think I have to put a desk in first. I need to warn the people when dust storms come, but that's not going to happen until I get a desk in there and a security guard. Medic bay has been built. It's no good without someone to keep the medicine. And we need obviously beds to treat the injured. Now the workers do get injured, particularly down the mine, so if we've got nothing there, they're going to cop it. This is a lab, and in here we can produce medicines, and we can also produce synthetic food. The biologist will have to come down here to do that. From this point, basically, we can continue to build out. We can build a bar, fitness centers, a factory. We will need a factory later, robotics facilities, more biodomes, and things like that. Factory can come, we can connect them up, try to get them in as close as you can from there, and that will allow us to produce more stuff. Security desk is in. Water supply we'll check on. 2.25 of the 7 produced, so we do have scope to put in more plants. And I know wheat is boring, however at this stage the byproducts are the most important thing, and that's the starch. These will have to be brought in. Now the guys have to walk all the way around into that entrance. If that entrance is too far away from the job they're doing, they will suffocate. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7, 8 bioplastics. And we are down to 1 metal, 1 mineral, and no bioplastics. So they will come out of here. So we need the workers on that. Okay, speed again. I'm still running flat tack. Bring it back to 1, and we'll call that an episode. So hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And that's the little button down on the right hand side. It's just a picture of Big Shadows World. And look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Bye for now.